Hey everybody, we are Dicey Decisions. We are here with our weekly one shot, which is our new series. We're trying to put out some more content each week and kind of mix it up a little bit. Tonight, we are going to kind of continue piggyback off of last week's weekly one shot, which was our first one, where we did a learn to play Daggerheart, where we kind of stepped through the system a little bit and then took the system for a little bit of a spin with some pre-generated characters. Well, everybody seemed to have a good time with that, and Brandy had requested, this is her request, to do a actual character creation session. So we're going to kind of step through building characters in Daggerheart and what kind of goes into that process. It's different a little bit than what we're used to with our typical D&D campaigns, which we have. Speaking of which, tomorrow we have our Twist of Fate campaign. We are playing through Vecna Eve of Ruin. It's super exciting. And that'll be on tomorrow night. We'll be streaming that. And then on Monday, Jack is our DM for our Zeros to Heroes campaign, which is also heating up quite a bit and getting very exciting. So those are our D&D campaigns that we are running. Both of them are running in the 2024 rules, and we run those on our Twitch stream with use of Opus, which if you could hear it playing in the background, Opus is where we get our music from. So as well as we use Fantasy Grounds when we are in our our one weekly campaign uses Fantasy Grounds. Jack's campaign is a lot more narrative driven. So come check those two streams out. We'd love to see you on the Twitch channel interacting with us as we're going through. We love having visitors and watchers. And if you want any of our past content, earlier episodes of both of those campaigns and our entire first campaign, which is finished quite a while ago, all of that is located on our YouTube channel, so you can check that out there. But tonight, we are doing some character creation. Tonight, I have with me Brandy and Jack, who have decided to kind of just take the rules and give a quick look at how to create these characters in Daggerheart. So, if you guys are ready, is there anything else you guys want to say before we hop in?
Well, I was going to say, if anybody's actually on here while we're streaming, feel free to ask questions in chat, and we'll try to answer them as we go. Otherwise, I think Brandy and I, maybe even Scott, are amateurs at creating our own characters in this, and so we're just pretty much anything goes. So we don't know if we're creating good characters or not. I think it's all just based on whatever sounds fun.
And a lot of the premise behind character building in this game system has a lot to do with the world building that may have gone on at a session 0, and we're kind of skipping that part because we're not really setting up for a full-on campaign, but we will talk about that a little bit just so that we kind of have that frame of reference. Brandy, did you have anything else?
Yeah, that's what I actually enjoy. That's why I wanted to do a character creation session, because it isn't just, I'm going to build this character, I really want to play a druid, and I'm going to do this. And this is more like, we have a framework for what we're going to be doing in the campaign to then decide what's the best character build for the campaign, which is kind of a different approach to character building. So I just think that's really cool.
Yeah, and what's really cool about the way Daggerheart kind of sets things up is they want you during your session 0, which is not a new thing. That's something we've been talking about in the gaming community for a long time, where you get together with the players and the game master and you kind of figure out where you're headed with the campaign and the types of things you want to do, plus all the personal preferences and safety measures and things like that that you would do with your group to make sure that you're all having a comfortable and safe and appropriate time while you're gaming. But what Daggerheart does is they kind of say that you should come up with what is known as a campaign framework. So I think that's an interesting variation from what we're used to. A lot of times what we're used to, especially with us in Dicey, is we're typically, in our two Friday night campaigns, we're running out of core material that's from Wizards of the Coast, set in whatever world that particular book has it set in and whatnot, and we kind of get used to the tenets of what that is. Well, in Daggerheart, they don't have a core world per se that they're working out of. So what they say is you should come up with a campaign frame, which is basically you pitch an idea for the campaign and you provide some of the foundations for it. And then you collectively talk about what communities would exist within that campaign. And maybe those are starting to relate to the communities your characters are going to be from, right? And those kind of things. So if somebody really wants to play, I'm just going to pull something out of the air, really wants to play a dwarf, they may have a dwarven culture they want embedded in this world. So that player could be talking about maybe a dwarven settlement in the mountains, blah, 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 right? And go into great detail about that dwarven settlement as part of putting together the campaign framework. And then maybe somebody else is playing wants to play like a fey creature of some kind and wants to have a high magic, super playful nature, right? So now we're going to have these, how do we fit these two character types and these two cultures into the framework of this world? And it builds a very interesting conversation to have that is very different than, all right, this campaign's set in the Forgotten Realms. And that's what we're used to. And then you can do some research online or in old gaming books. I've got shelves and shelves if you would like to come peruse them. I've got shelves of gaming books that could tell you everything you wanted to know about the Forgotten Realms because there's a lot of source material out there for it. But this is kind of designed they're not setting it in an existing world. They're not even setting it yet. They're not even talking about the Critical Role world because this is a Darrington Press product. You would have thought they would have been specific about that, but maybe there's some licensing issues because some of the Critical Role world is actually set in the D&D multiverse, et cetera, et cetera. So who knows what's going on with that? We could spend all night talking about the possibilities of what's going to happen with that. But what's really cool is this idea of a campaign frame, right? And that you would actually literally build the map together. They tell you to sketch the map together and make little sections of the world map with each other so that you're all have a piece and a say in the topography and the geography and all that stuff, all the ancestries and the different things that are going on. You would do that. And then
so we can touch on that a little bit tonight as we put our characters together.
We can, if we totally can do that. But again, we're not necessarily setting this up to play in a specific game world, right? But yes, we could talk about that in terms of what you two are interested in building or whatever the case may be. In the book, they do have five or six, I think it's 6 different frameworks that they have provided. And they run the gamut of feeling very different from each other. And I think they did this to showcase the flexibility of this game system and how well you can do it. So let me find here. I am sharing my demi-plane here with the stream. And there's actually let's see.
Campaign Frames, Chapter 5.
Yep.
Is that what you're looking for?
So this is just kind of the overviews of the ones that exist already. These are the 6 that are in the book. So I'll read the first one. Beast Feast. When a small village's monsters defense system fails, the local heroes must venture into the endless caverns below to fix it and cook up trouble for the creatures that stand in their way. So this sounds like a typical, Underdark type dungeon crawl kind of campaign as far as that's what it speaks to me. Whether it would play out like that, who knows? But that's what it speaks to me. So, and then you could click more into to dive into the frame. So I'm going to click into that one just because I can and see what that does. In a Beast Feast campaign, you'll play everyday heroes diving into the Plover Caves to reignite the magic lore that lies in its depths and cook up delicious meals. Welcome to a culinary world of zoophagous delight, where the beasts you fight become the food you eat. That's totally hysterical.
It's like Delicious
right?
Dungeon,
Like,
or there's a anime for that.
yeah, absolutely. They give a complexity rating. This is designed by several of the game creators, wrote this particular one together. And then read this to your players to introduce them to a campaign. So if you were DMing a campaign and wanted to come up with a campaign style, you might come up with this first paragraph and then pitch it to your players and see where it goes from there, right? So the rustic, peaceful village of Elmore sits atop the Plover Caves, a labyrinthine system of caverns full of dangerous and delectable creatures. When the powerful magic keeping the villagers safe begins to fail, the bravest among them must descend into the caves to save the day. In a Beast Feast campaign, you'll play everyday heroes diving into the cave to reignite the magic lore and cook up delicious meals. So that's where that phrase up above came from. Tone and feel. Absurd, comedic, creepy, fun, lighthearted, and silly. I actually watched a discussion about this, and when they created this, they actually let each player pick a word.
Oh, that's cool.
To help define it. Right? So when you see those words, you would then say, maybe one player wanted it to be creepy, but somebody also wanted it to be comedic, and they each got to kind of say what they wanted to say about it.
Teachers, it's like making a class contract.
There you go. And touchstones, Delicious in Dungeon, Monster Hunter World, One Piece. So they even give some references, popular culture, TTRPG, what have you, references of what kind of feel the campaign's going to have, right? And then what themes you guys want to explore, right? So maybe somebody's really interested in playing a character that's overcoming fear, right? So that's set at this first juncture as a theme of the campaign, one of many. And then the DM or the GM and the players can make sure to keep referencing these themes and try to explore within these themes. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a really interesting way to kind of world build together as far as that goes. What do you guys think?
For sure. Yeah. It's going to be really easy to know, like, say you are playing a dwarf, you're going to probably want a dwarf civilization, but thinking outside the box, you could literally put anything at all in there. Anything at all.
Absolutely. You could want to play a dwarf from a dwarf civilization that has been ran out of their normalcy, and now they're all fisher folk.
Yeah.
Right? Which you don't typically see in canon. You don't typically see a bunch of dwarven sailors, but maybe in this campaign, that's what they've become.
You could even play a character that is the last of their kind, if you wanted to have that.
Absolutely.
As usual, the dark, bitter, broody character, which is what I always do.
So. Right.
Yeah, and setting the tone, you could say, you pick your favorite monster and say that's what rules the whole landscape. Like, there's one overlord dragon and there's dragons everywhere, or spiders or whatever.
Right. Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of fun, like, opportunities for players to kind of seed the type of monsters they're going to want to fight too. It's not just about my character, but it's also about, like, I'm really interested in going up against a series of, a horde of goblins or a horde of barbarians or something, right? You'd do whatever you want and put them on the map, put them in the world.
Yeah, I love gnolls. Let's go fight gnolls. They're everywhere.
Right. Obviously, I'm not going to read all of this. They go in great detail about each of these. And again, they crafted these specifically for the release of this book. I definitely see the concept of the campaign frame being something that gaming groups, especially ones like ours that have worked together before, would totally dive in and really enjoy building their own. But I could also see this being a huge market for other content creators to come up with a series of campaign frames that are fleshed out and let the DMs that don't have the time to do the world building and the gaming groups that are maybe new at this to kind of dive into a standardized world or an existing world that's kind of laid out for you, to kind of get their feet wet, But it breaks down which types of communities are going to be there. And if you want all communities to be there, then you have to say that, but then you want to define information about them, right? So the Underborn community, right? Underborn folk, maybe from the caves, maybe not. Despite being accustomed to your own underground environment, what's something you've heard is unique about the caves? You could deeper define what your community knows about the region, right? Or how your community has affected the region. I think that's super cool, right? And we'll get to this as we do character creation, but like all the parts of character creation can be layered into this so that it's not only just about your heritage, but it's also about your community. And maybe it's even about your experiences as we start to pick experiences for the characters, right? All three of those things really make up a gist of who the character really is beyond their class abilities, right? So I think that can be super exciting to think about how those are used, right? And maybe all ancestries all are available, but some have unique aspects. So if you wanted to say the elves in my world all don't have this power, but instead they have that power, right? So you could change what elves in your campaign frame are.
Good point. Right? So you can craft and make different abilities that don't really exist because you can, as long as you and your DM agree.
It's your game, right? It's this table's game. And that's kind of the point of the campaign frame building, if you were building one. And obviously, if we were going to use one out of the book and try to be true to it, you wouldn't make any other changes to it. But there's nothing saying that you couldn't pick apart one of these and be like, I like everything but those two things. Let's look at something else for those two things and make it our own, right? The game is really designed to be that for the table that's playing it.
It's truly collaborative.
It is. It is definitely, and it is definitely story driven in the greatest of senses, which can be the right fit for the right table, right? There's certain gamers that don't want that pressure of world building because it can be very, very challenging and difficult, and that's not the way they're wired. They like being told dwarves act this way, they are from this land, blah blah blah. And they love playing dwarves, and they're perfectly happy with that, right?
Yeah.
So, and there's nothing to say you can't just pick up an existing campaign frame and go, "Hey, we'll use this one," right?
Sure. Yeah.
So I think it's got a best of both worlds in terms of the character building capabilities, as far as that goes. But again, you talk about the different classes and how those work within your campaign frame. And then, if you're campaigning as the GM in this frame, maybe here's some key points that you want to have and use as you go, that are important to this style of play, right? So I think there's just a good amount of interesting things. And you can have, history stuff that goes on what caused this world to be created in this way, etc. Are there any campaign mechanics you want specific to this frame? So, for example, in this Beast Feast one, here's some extra weapons, and that are actually tied into the whole concept of cooking and eating the monsters you kill.
I know that it's hard to see on screen. Our screen share is a little pixelated, so reading the words is a little tough, but it's how we can see how it's laid out for you.
Right. Yeah, and again, I'm using the demiplane interface to have all this, but all this is also in the actual core rule book as well, as far as that goes. But I love the fact that, I can play a character whose main weapon is a cooking knife in this campaign, right? Because that's the flavor of this campaign. You're cooking and eating things, right?
Right.
So just fun flavor, right? All sorts of stuff like that.
Let's get in there and come up with all kinds of new stuff just off the tops of our heads.
Well, I think that would take the most of the whole session if we were going to come up with a campaign.
For our particular characters. I'm just talking about this character creation thing.
Sure.
So I think we should pick. We're going to pick a frame to work from, or are we just going to build a character?
What would you prefer?
GM.
What makes sense to you, though, Brandy?
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me from that point of view. I mean, I think the tricky part is character creation discussion should go hand in hand with your session 0 and world building, right? And your campaign frame.
Right.
So that's the tricky part about doing this without the intent of an actual campaign. We're just doing this for mechanics and learning the different aspects of how to build a character.
Right.
So for me, for tonight, I don't know how vital the campaign frame details are, but it's perfectly fine as we're looking through building the mechanics of a character to say, oh, I would want to play a character in a campaign frame that would allow for blah, 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 right? Or something like that.
Since you already read some of the stuff about the Beast Feast, why don't we just keep that in the back of our heads while we build characters, thinking about, oh, maybe my character should cook. I don't know, or that kind of thing. Because I want to have that in my head while I'm building the character. But you've already read a bunch of that, so we don't need to go back, really. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely. I think that's perfectly fine. And I can always come reference anything on here if we want to at whatever given point in time. That's perfectly fine. I definitely think the Beast Feast, I can see certain of these frames being really great at one-shots, since we are talking about one-shots tonight, since we're doing a bunch of one-shots. I think some of these are great for one-shots, the Beast Feast being one of them. It's like, hey, Monster of the Week, what are we going to hunt? Right? Totally a great one-shot type feel, whereas, some of these might be more longer story arc one, and I'm going to point out the one that's actually written by Matt Mercer, which is the one that Critical Role is currently doing in their mini-series, Age of Umbra, which is, I think, on Twitch, right? Or on, I think it's on right now. I think we're opposite it right now. I think they're live tonight.
Oops.
Yeah, that's a horrifying campaign. It's just terrible.
It's very nightmare driven. It's very brutal. And I'm loving watching every minute of it. No spoilers. So I'm totally fine if we want to use the Beast Feast as a reference and start thinking about it. One of the tricky parts about, I think, Daggerheart and the whole concept of character creation is because it's so intertwined, and doing this as a group, it's really, you of course with any game system can look at the rules, create a character, and show up to a table with it. I think the flavor of this game is wishing you would do that collaboratively with others, right? We talked about that a little bit when we talked about the rules, and we even with the pre-gens when we did the connections section last week. Right. So I think that the tricky part with character creation here is when I first started looking at this book and started looking at the character creation section, it's like I want to know what all this impacts later on before I make the choice, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And that's always a tricky thing. So it may be, as we step through this, it may be a little bit of awkwardness of like, because the first thing they say is pick your class.
Hmm.
But narratively speaking, I wouldn't have a class when I was born. And if I'm narrating my story, I might want to pick my heritage first.
100%.
Well,
Yes.
Right?
But
the author,
Go ahead, Brandy.
The author in me actually quite loves this because you have a character you've crafted and you have to work that character within the constraints, and I think that makes it more
Mhm.
challenging. You know, I may have put a character together that can do this, that, and the other, and those aren't necessarily the skills that are going to be useful. I'm going to have to get creative and see how I can make them useful, or who do I lean on. That's what makes this whole concept of Daggerheart super exciting for me. It's how I have to think, a lot. Once I create a character and I've 15 chapters into writing a book, I can't suddenly just change their skill set. Unless I want to rewrite the whole thing. So I have to.
Why don't you start us off then? If this is fun for you to start with these constraints, go ahead and get started, and then we'll build our. Are you making one too, Scott?
I wasn't planning on it, but I could.
Yeah, let's build our characters so they all fit into a story, a narrative, and starting with you, Brandy.
So, Scott, do you want me to switch the screen? Do you have something else you want to go over before I get to?
I was just going to talk through the steps that they list, right? As far as that goes for character creation. They say you choose class, choose your heritage, assign your character traits, record additional character info, which is probably like how you look and things like that. Choose your starting equipment, then choose your background, create your experiences, then choose your domain cards, which is something that comes out of your class. So it's kind of an interesting back and forth that they do, and I wonder if there's a method to the madness. So I'm kind of interested.
It feels like we need to build them together at the same time.
Well, that's true, but I'm also thinking I want to try to do it in this order, even though part of me would want to do heritage and background and those other things earlier before I pick my class. But I'm curious why they have it listed the way they do.
So,
Okay.
Right.
For this, it will walk you through those steps exactly like that in your character creation screen on Demiplane.
Right. Yeah, I was just going to switch over to that as well. Oh.
Okay. Do you want me to switch to my view, or do you want to put one up or do you want to?
We can switch to yours.
Okay.
I can stop streaming.
We're all going to go off kilter for just a second. Oh, look at my big face. That's scary. Okay. We're back, except I need to make it smaller. Not that small. Hold on one sec.
So in Daggerheart, if you click on characters, go to Daggerheart and hit create character, it'll take you to a stream. Oh, because you're the one streaming, it's going to show us that. I've got the error message.
I have that too, so you're going to have to do it.
Okay.
Let me stop sharing. The big face of me. Hi.
Okay. You got that maybe?
Hold on, I gotta change.
Yep.
Wait. It's doing the funny thing again.
So it looks like from this screen that you could start with heritage and then go back to class. Or even start with experiences. You could just click any of those and start filling it in.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. I'm just saying that I'm curious why they say step 1, step 2, step 3. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
Like they have picked this order for whatever reason.
I'm actually going to put us back in the view we were and just keep talking while I do this because you can't read the words the way I have the screen capture done. So I'm going to... One of us is not going to be on the stream visually at some point. So
you could pull me off. I'm the ugliest of the three of us.
Oh,
So.
stop. It's just going to be a...
You're welcome to cover me.
It's going to be a weird second while I get it straightened out. So, talk away.
So I'm going in and I am putting myself in as a character name of Smiley. I don't know why, that's what just came to me. Pronouns they them, because I haven't decided yet where I'm headed with that, and that may change. I hold the right reserve to change that. Campaign frame, I'm going to click on that and select Beast Feast, since that's what we kind of agreed to, which might populate certain things on the character sheet. So I'll be curious if there's some Beast Feast mechanics that show up. I'm going to pick one of these pictures.
Why don't you wait on that till you decide your heritage?
I know, but it's weird that they're asking you to do that right now. But okay.
You can come back and do it, I'm sure.
I hope so. So I'll hit begin.
Yeah.
Choose your class. The first step character creation is choose your class you want to play. So in the core rulebook, the classes are Bard, Druid, Guardian, Ranger, Rogue, Seraph, Sorcerer, Warrior, and Wizard. They have added via the Void, which is their playtest area, they have added 4 character classes. The Assassin, the Brawler, the Warlock, and the Witch are all additions, but they are here on Demiplane, which is really, really cool. And I'm gonna go and say that Smiley is gonna be a
hey, before you choose, I'm gonna just throw something out there.
Yes.
So prepping for tonight's session here, I tried to come up with a background.
Okay.
So I have a background. I haven't chosen anything else, but just like a framework of what happened in my past. Why don't we do that with you and then see which one fits?
Okay.
Like, it could be anything. Where are you from? Like, not what you're trained as. Just what brought you here? Why are you here as an adventurer?
Sure. I see what you're saying, Jack, but I'm trying to do what they're trying to have me do, which is pick class first. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
but it's
trying
hard to pick class without any sort of idea.
I know, but that's why I want to see how it works.
Okay, let's see what you
see,
got.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna, since I haven't looked at this class at all, I'm gonna pick the Brawler class.
Monk-like, I would guess.
So those of you that are new to Daggerheart, each class has 2 domains, and no class has the same 2 domains as another class. They share a domain with one other. So the Brawler class has the Bone domain, which is the domain of tactics in the body, and Valor, which is the domain of protection. So that's what I'm going to play as the Brawler, as Smiley. It gives you a starting evasion score here and starting hit points. Those will populate. This content's part of the Void, which means it's being play tested. Make sure to check with your GM, yada, yada. So, class items. You get hand wraps from a mentor or a book about your secret hobby. I'm going to take the hand wraps from a mentor. I think that's super cool. And I'll try to flavor that later on. The Brawler's Hope feature, which is one of their abilities they get as a Brawler, is Staggering Strike. Spend 3 hope when you hit an adversary to also deal them a stress and make them temporarily staggered. While staggered, all attack rolls they make are at disadvantage. So it's kind of cleaning their clock a little bit. Class feature, I am the weapon. While you don't have any equipped weapons, your evasion has a +1 bonus. Your unarmed strikes are considered a melee weapon. Use the trait of your choice and deal a d10 plus a d6 physical damage. Both dice scale with your proficiency. That's awesome. Combo strikes after making a damage roll with a melee weapon. But before dealing that damage to the target, mark a stress to start a combo strike. When you do, roll your combo die and note its value, then roll your combo die again. If the value of the second die is equal to or greater than your first roll, continue rolling until the latest combo die's roll is less than the roll that preceded it. Total all rolled values and add that amount to your weapon's damage.
Holy moly.
Your combo die starts as a d4. When you level up once per tier, you may use one of your advancement options to increase your combo die. So once per tier, and there's only 4 tiers in the game. And then there's 2 subclasses. Choose either the Juggernaut or the Martial Artist subclass. Background questions. Answer any of the following background questions. You can also create your own questions. So where did you spend time during your formative years that taught you, directly or indirectly, how to fight in the style you use? So I'll have to think on these. I'm not ready to answer them, but this is just giving me some ideas. What group or organization has always had your back, and how did you get in their good graces? Who did you lose a fight to long ago that you are desperate for a rematch against? And then connections, which we covered kind of in our last one-shot, is questions that popped up about each other, and we would build all of those. So we can come back to those once we each have a character built. I think that'd be interesting. The difference between the Juggernaut and the Martial Artist. So I'm definitely going with the Juggernaut just because of its name.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. Powerhouse, increase the d10 damage dice for your unarmed attack to d12s. Additionally, you can mark a stress to target 2 creatures within melee range with a single attack roll.
What? Okay.
On a successful attack, overwhelm, you can spend a hope to force the target to mark a stress or to throw them within close range. That's so awesome.
Jeez.
Specialization feature, rugged, gain a permanent +3 bonus to your severe damage threshold. Additionally, your powerhouse feature can target 3 creatures instead of 2. Eye for an eye, when you mark more than 1 hit point from an attack in melee range, the attacker must make a reaction roll on a failure. Once progressed, they immediately mark the same number of hit points in return. Nice. So these are all stuff that you get as you level up. They won't be there at the first level character. So I'm going to select this class, Brawler. Now it says choose a subclass. So I'm going to select Juggernaut. Set your traits. Okay, so this is character traits. You get 1 + 2, 2 +1s, 2 zeros, and 1 -1. So I'm going to
So for the Juggernaut, did they say if strength is your...
You get to pick which one it is. Your powers are based on the one you pick.
Got it.
I think my agility is going to be a +2. My strength is going to be a +1. And my finesse is going to be another +1. My -1 trait is going to be my knowledge for sure. All right.
Juggernaut.
Choose starting weapons.
Oh my goodness, look at all this cool stuff.
Well, this is all from the from the Beast Feast,
Right.
right?
What was that first one? The very first one. Oh, Arcane Gauntlet. So that would not be you. You want nothing arcane. You just want to murder stuff.
I love that they have like cleaver and
cooking knife and cleaver. Enchanted broomstick.
Telling you a suggested right here, which is kind of cool.
yeah.
For the class, right?
Since as a juggernaut, your body is the weapon, you might want to look for other stuff. Sparkling staff. Table shield. Not only a shield, but a dining room.
I think what's really, really funny would be to have like a cleaver in one hand. Where's cleaver? First screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like a cleaver. I'll select that. And then a paring knife in the other hand. I don't know that I'll ever even use these, right?
Right. Since you're unarmed striking. Probably. But yeah, that's funny.
Use starting armor. A leather apron. I think that makes sense.
Yep.
Starting inventory. Choose between a minor health potion or minor stamina potion. I'm going to take the health. And then hand wraps from a mentor is what I said earlier. Oh, it does have you take your domain cards. Now, okay, so domains are the core building blocks of Daggerheart's classes. The following domains are included in the book, yada, yada, yada. Each domain has a domain deck. A deck of cards contains abilities and spells with a central theme or focus. For details on what each domain represents and how to use your domain cards, see the domain section. Each class in Daggerheart is formed by combining two of these domains. For example, a warrior class combines blade and bone, etc. So look at the level 1 from your class's 2 domains and choose 2 cards, returning the rest to the respective deck. So, since I am doing Bone and
Valor,
I'm going to probably try to take 1 from each just because I don't know whether I want one or the other, right?
Yeah.
And I had my agility pretty high, right?
Say that again. You cut out just a tiny bit.
I had my agility high, right? Yes.
Yes, you did your agility high.
So I'm going to take Untouchable from Bone, which is gain a bonus to your evasion equal to half your agility. And then I'm going to take when you choose not to equip armor, you have a base armor score of 3 plus your strength.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah. I'll try that one. All right. So, I can continue going, or we can switch and have someone else go for a while.
Well, I can't put my screen up, so Jack
Right.
can share his.
But you could talk through yours and I could go to it. Like I could build another one or whatever.
Yeah, what if
Right.
you just keep building if you build all of them and we'll just make the choices.
Okay.
You do
So do you
that?
want me to continue or pause here and start another one and do one of you
Yeah,
guys up to this point?
Let's pause another one so that we can mesh them when we start going through heritage and everything else.
Yeah, because I might even go back and pick something different if my if one of my domains is also one of your choices, you guys may want to do the one power and then me not do that power, right? You know, that's another part of doing this together, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I got Smiley there. I can always click back on him. I'm going to hit create character. Which of the two of you would like to go first?
Let's have Brandy go.
Okay.
What's your character's name?
My character's name is Lysella.
Could you spell that, please?
Lysella.
Lysella. Pronouns?
She, her.
Okay. Campaign frame. I will click Beast Feast for you. I'm not picking a picture yet.
Okay.
Begin. Class.
Okay. Class.
And you can, if you want to look at a couple, like I've looked at most of the classes.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, if this is new for you, either of the two of you, and you want to like, maybe I'll do this. Can we look at that? I'm happy to bring it up.
I'm going to cheat just a little because of the quick run through we did. I definitely want to explore the witch class.
Right. So the witch has domain of dread and sage. That is so cool.
Yeah.
I gotta read those. Dread, being playtested as part of the void, doesn't tell you what it is. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it doesn't give you the full thing. Sage is the domain of the natural world. Those who walk this path tap into the unfettered power of the earth and its creatures to unleash raw magic. Sage grants its adherents the vitality of a blooming flower and the ferocity of a ravenous... Sorry. It's not letting me click to see more. Oh, of a ravenous predator. Okay. So your starting evasion is 10, starting hit points is 6 as the witch.
Mm-hmm.
Class items will be a handcrafted besom. Does anybody know what that word means?
I'll look it up while we're working.
Or a pouch of animal bones you find in the wild. Witch's Hope feature. When you or an ally within far range rolls a failure, you can spend 3 hope to change it into a success with fear instead. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
A besom or a besom is a broom. Just
Got it. Class feature Hex. When a creature causes you or an ally within close range to mark any number of hit points, you can mark a stress to hex them. While hexed, they gain a penalty to their damage thresholds equal to your spellcast trait, and a penalty to their difficulty equal to your tier. You can only have one target hexed at a time. Commune. During a long rest, you can commune with an entity. Oh, that's so cool. An ancestor, deity, spirit, aspect of nature, etc. Ask them a question, then roll 4d6. If any of the dice have matching values, reference the chart below for the effect. If there are multiple matches, you get more than one effect.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, and it's like visions or sounds or sensations or smells.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
I love it.
Very cool. The 2 subclasses are either Hedge Witch or Moon Witch. There's some background questions. How did you first discover your affinity for the magical craft? You once use your power to help someone in a dire situation. Who were they and why? Your magic once opened a door, best left closed. Who or what was on the other side? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are great questions.
Some of these questions, if you're all building your characters together, like at a table, you could choose one of these questions kind of as a guiding question to be able to share a little bit about your character.
Yes.
Instead of, I'm 5'6", and these
Right.
are really good guiding questions for that.
Yep. Spellcast trait. So instinct wants to be high, because that's what your spells are going to be based off of, is instinct.
Yeah.
Foundational feature, when you take a downtime action that requires rolling, you can roll twice and take the higher results. That's super cool. Tethered talisman, once per rest during a moment of peace, you can enchant a small object and give it to an ally to tether to them. While a tethered ally holds this object, when they are hit by an attack, you can spend the magic in the totem to deal 1 hit point to the attacker. That's badass.
I like the witch.
Specialization, walk between worlds. Make a spellcast roll, difficulty 13, in an area containing 1 or more dead bodies. On a success, you can watch the last few moments leading to their death by bringing the surroundings of the past to life. That's so cool. Mark a stress during the spell to also hear the sounds that were being made during this moment. Increase the amount of dice you roll for your commune feature to 66. And then mastery. Again, these are high level stuff.
Yeah.
The moon is also still based off of instinct. If you're in the moonlight, you have a +1 bonus to your spellcast rolls. That's cool. Ire of Pale Light. When a creature within far range that you have cursed with your hex fails an attack roll, they must mark a stress. That's cool. Oh my goodness, this is a cool class. Take the form of any creature of your approximate size that you've seen. That's super cool. Gain advantage on presence rolls. Instead of communion, you can roll communion dice to alter your form. That's super cool. All right. Very cool. So you're going to select this class.
Given the fact that I know that this campaign is kind of a cavern dungeon crawly kind of thing, I don't know all of the ins and outs of the whole moon subclass. I feel like hedge is the better bet.
Makes sense.
Just
Fair.
in case some things were dependent on, moon phase or things like that, I could
Sure.
I could hamstring myself. So, and that would be an example of understanding the framework of where you're going to be going.
And also, I think a conversation to say, yeah, we want to play Feast, but we don't have to go underground.
Right.
Right? The GM could say, oh, I can keep it all out in the woods. It's a giant forest instead
Right.
of underground. Right?
Yeah.
So, and therefore you could play Moon.
Yeah.
And, so that's kind of cool.
So I'm going to choose hedge.
Okay. Set your traits.
If I recall, we said something.
Instinct.
Instinct was the big one, right?
Yeah, I would assume you're going to want that to be your +2.
Yes. Then I think knowledge.
Okay.
Presence.
Okay.
And finesse.
Finesse is your -1.
No. Yes. Yes.
So finesse is your worst.
Yes.
All right. Choose starting weapons.
So they suggest the dual staff, which makes sense.
Yeah. Is there a write-up of the dual staff? Far range.
Wow.
D6 +3 magic. Two-handed primary weapon tier 1. Nice.
Yeah. And then she's a hedge witch, and I felt like having a cleaver is believable. And it's also appropriate to the beast feast.
Right.
And it's a melee.
Love it.
Rather than...
It is.
So
range.
I've got one of each.
Right. Yeah.
And it's got the reliable feature. So there's a +1 to attack rolls for that one. So
Nice. All right, starting armor.
So there's a lot to choose from. I was going back and forth kind of between the quilted clothing and the tree bark, and I don't know why, but I'm just flavor.
Well, let's take a look at those two.
Yeah.
So base thresholds are 5 and 11, which means damage of
So 5 is
below
a little,
5.
Yeah.
And then 11 is your next threshold to take you up to the higher damage thresholds. Base score is 3 armor, so you would have 3 armor slots to use. You gain a +1 to evasion because it's flexible.
Yeah.
That's quilted clothing. Tree bark armor, on the other hand, is higher threshold, an extra armor slot, but a -1 to your evasion because it's heavy.
Right. I still think she'd probably do the quilted.
All right, quilted clothing it is. Take your starting inventory.
So you get a torch, 50 feet of rope, basic supplies, a handful of gold, and I think she's probably going to want a minor health potion.
And you want the broom or the pouch of animal bones?
Well, you'd think I would go for the broom. I already have a staff, basically, and that seems cumbersome. And a pouch of animal bones, you know, you gotta make a base for the soup.
Well, that's super useful.
So
Yep.
that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
That's a cool witch.
I think so.
And then your domain cards. So you have the domain of Dread and Sage. So these are all you have access to right now, and you get to pick 2 total. They can be from the same domain or not. And if as you level up, you will get access to more of these.
Right.
And there's a bigger deck as you go up in level as well. Like there's other powers.
Right.
And that's one of the things we're not really looking at is beyond level 1, right? Because we'd have to look through. But in any game system, people will plan out their builds oftentimes, right? So some powers may work better with other powers later on, right?
Yeah.
But what's really cool about Daggerheart is when you level up, you can put cards back in your deck and take new ones.
Oh, interesting.
Nice. So I was thinking utility, and
Okay.
Vicious Entangle seemed good because we're hunting down beasts.
Oh yeah, there's great art on all of these cards. The in-person book comes with a deck of these cards. So we were playing in person, these cards you would have these
Right.
in your hand, which is super cool.
So Vicious Entangle reminds me a lot of D&D Entangle. I think it's pretty. The mechanic is similar. And you're restraining, and so I think that's kind of what about all the witch can offer in terms of not a lot of strength in that sense. So I can entangle from afar. I like that, and I really like Voice of Dread because I can speak directly into the ears of a creature I can see, and you can kind of. I feel like she could freak them out and then entangle them, maybe. I just felt like...
Yeah, mark a stress and make them temporarily vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that could be used in combat or that could be used in social interactions. That's
Right.
super cool.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about this game system is like a social encounter. The goal might be to get the other person to make them use up all their stress so they agree to your terms.
Yeah.
Right? So having powers that could reduce stress or give them stress points is really great.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, shall we pause here and let Jack catch up?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, funny enough, when I was looking through these, both of your classes
Or ones you
are
were
exactly.
in.
Yeah,
Oh no!
of course. So, I think since we have, I think Brandy has some healing attached. You can bring things back to life. I would guess there's some healing involved, maybe.
I don't know
And
if
you've
I
also
had that
got
much.
magic?
I don't know. I didn't have a lot for healing. I don't recall. I think I had a healing potion. Maybe. I could be so.
Yeah, there's
thought
not
you-
a huge amount of healing. There is some in this game for sure, but there's not a huge amount.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking and Scott, you've taken the freaking juggernaut. So we've got a brawler.
Sure.
I was thinking I should either go with Sneaky or Healy. So there is an assassin, which is also in the void right now. And since it's a little different, I think I'm going to... Oh, I need a character name. Sweetness.
Sweetness.
I love that.
Awesome. Pronouns?
Let's go with they, because I'm not sure right now. They, them.
All right. Campaign frame, Beast Feast.
Yep.
All right. Beginning. You're going to go for Assassin, which
I
has
think I am.
I love it.
Midnight and Blade.
Yeah. So,
starting evasion of 12, which is nice and high. Starting hit points of 5. List of names with several marked off, or a mortar and pestle inscribed with a mysterious insignia. Those are cool class items. Grim Resolve. Spend 3 hope to clear 2 stress. That's nice.
yeah.
Class feature Ambush. When you move into melee and make a successful weapon attack, you can mark a stress to force the target to make a reaction roll with a difficulty equal to 10 plus your level. On a failure, increase the damage of your attack by a number of d6 equal to your tier. So that will get up pretty high later on. Get in and get out. Spend a hope to ask the GM for either a quick or inconspicuous way into or out of a building or structure you can see. The next roll you make that capitalizes on this information has advantage.
Nice.
Super cool. You choose either the Executioner or Poisoner's Guild subclass.
Okay.
So, and then what organization trained you in the art of killing, and how did you gain membership into it throughout your entire career? What one target has eluded you? Who are they? That's super cool. You always do what you must to take down your target, but there's one line that you will never cross. What is it? That's cool too. Those are some really cool questions on the backgrounds for the assassin type that kind of make the assassin deeper than the stereotype, you know?
Those two, the second and third, instantly have got them conflicting with each other.
Right. Of course you do. All right, so we're going to select this class.
Yep.
And then subclass.
All right. I'm going with the Poisoner. With my little background I built, I'm trying to fit this kind of in there. So I'm going with the Poisoner rather than the Executioner's Guild.
Great. Grants presence as a spellcast trait and the toxic concoctions and venomate features. That's cool. All right. Now setting your trait.
I wish there was one to suggest the suggestions, because if I've got...
Hold on, let me pop back. You have a presence spellcast, so that's something that's known.
Yeah, if I've got presence as spellcasting, can I also use presence to sneak up and stab people? I don't know about that.
I don't know that you can use it for your attacks.
Let's go presence 2, since I know that at least part of me relies on that. I'm going to go for finesse number +1. And is that agility?
Yep.
Agility 1. And -1 knowledge. Randy, did you pick knowledge as a high one? Because we
Yes.
need somebody
She
smart.
did actually, because I picked mine as -1 also.
All right.
Yeah. So, starting weapons.
I will go with their suggestions: a dagger and a hand crossbow. Unless, yeah, those things can work as items of butchery and carving meat.
Sure. Starting armor.
And they suggest leather. What does that give me? Can we look at the...
Yeah, it's a threshold 613, base score of 3, so 3 armor slots.
What's a leather apron give?
613, base score 3, same thing.
Same thing. Let's go with the apron then.
Nice.
Yeah.
Starting inventory.
I'm going to go with the stamina. And
I like that.
I think I can also have my names, but I'm going with the mortar and pestle. I think those make sense with what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Poisoner, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, domain deck. So you have the domains of Midnight and Blade. So what's really kind of cool is you share. Did you have Midnight too?
No.
With the witch? Oh, no.
Maybe I
You
did.
had dread.
Dread and
Oh,
Sage,
Dread.
yeah.
Right.
Dread and Sage. I've got Midnight and what is it?
Blade.
All right. I think.
So there's a lot of interesting ones here. I'm happy to expand and read out any one you want.
I think I like not good enough, because if I don't like how hard I hit, I just hit again, is what it looks like.
When you roll your damage dice, you can re-roll any 1s or 2s.
Okay. So, yeah, I like that one. I want to make sure my attacks are strong. And the other one, it's hard for me to see. These are so tiny. Let me look on my page.
So pick and pull. You have advantage on action rolls to pick non-magical locks, disarm non-magical traps, steal items from a target.
Okay. I don't think I want that one.
Rain of Blades. Spend a hope to make a spellcast roll and conjure throwing blades that strike out at all targets within very close range. Targets you succeed against take d8 plus 2 magic damage using your proficiency. If a target you hit is vulnerable, they take an extra d8. That's kind of a big attack. Uncanny Disguise. You mark a stress. When you have a few minutes to prepare, you can mark a stress to don the facade of any humanoid you can picture clearly in your mind. While
Good.
disguised,
I like
you have advantage on presence rolls to avoid scrutiny.
Perfect. That's one I want.
All right. You got it. All right, so we're caught up.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's have a little discussion before we move on to whoever we're going to move on to. Is there any heritage feels you guys are going with in terms of your character that you want to lay claim to as far as those go? Right? So I'm going to click on heritage. The first is ancestry, the second is community. And we're on Jack's character sheet, but I'm just using this as an example to look through them all.
Yeah.
So there are some that are in here from the core rules, obviously, and some that are in here from the void, because they did put out a bunch of playtest content. So there's actually additional ancestries in here. So the Aetheris, which are like the
Humanoids who possess glowing auras and wings.
They're like the angels. What are those in D&D? Asimar. They're like Asimar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking for the word. They're like the Asimar in that regard. Clanks, which are your mechanical beings built from a variety of materials. Draconia are wingless dragons. Dwarfs. Earthkin are descended from earth elementals. Elf. Emberkin are descended from fire elementals. Fairy. Fawn. Furbolg. Fungrill, which are your mushrooms. Galapa, which are your turtles or turtles like in D&D. Giant, gnome, goblin, halfling, human, Inferis, which are your tieflings. Kitari, which are like your Tabaxi.
Tabaxi, yep. Cat people.
Orcs. Ribbits, which are actual frog people. Stimaya, which are your monkey people. Skykin, which are a descendant from air elementals. And Tidekin are descendant from water elementals.
I know what I would like to go with.
Okay, why don't you pick it?
I will pick the Fungrill. Hopefully that's not what you guys were looking for, but
I was not going to go Fungrill.
I was looking at the Atheris.
Okay.
Ooh.
Very cool.
And I like
a witch angel.
I like the Atheris because of the abilities with them. Divine wings. You can call forth your divine wings and fly. While flying, you can mark a stress to pick up and carry a willing creature approximately your size or smaller. And you also, when your wings are out, you get advantage on rolls to command or intimidate a target. So I feel like this one's
does it not let me go back and edit the character?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
There has to be a way.
I know, but I'm not finding it, Jack.
We did a lot of click around because it's, totally new. I wonder if you can. Oh, you know what? Try clicking. No. Try going to. Go down to equip. Features, effects, those things. I wonder if you click those, if there's like an edit.
No.
This is good to learn.
All right.
At the bottom of that page is oh no, it's not there in yours. Huh.
Oh wait, go back up. On that bar, did you try clicking that cogwheel?
I did.
Okay. Gotcha. There's gotta be an edit feature. I'm gonna Google that while you guys talk.
Yeah.
Cool. So have you chosen an ancestry
character
unit?
builder. Just go to the character builder.
Oh.
It takes me back to here.
Got it.
I got it. I figured it out. So you said ancestry, you were going to go with the Theris?
Yes.
All right. Well, I am then going to go to my character, just because I can. And I'm totally changed. I had one set in mind from the start, and I've completely changed it now. I was going to do the turtle, the whatever they're called, Galapa.
Uh-huh.
But now, I think it would be funny to do. There it is, the Clank.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, robot monk.
Yep.
We need a head chef.
Now, choosing a community, right? So, depending on the different communities we have and the communities in the Daggerheart system, the ones in the core rulebook are Highborn, Loreborn, Orderborn, Ridgeborn, Seaborn, Slyborn, Underborn, Wanderborn, and Wildborn. And then they added Duneborn, so your shifting sands kind of thing. Freeborn community means you're from a collective that lived under tyrannic rule and is now liberated. So that's kind of cool. Frostborn is obviously a place of snow and ice. Hearthborn is community that you come from humble origins. Reborn, you were once a member of another community, but you can no longer remember it. That's kind of cool. Then Warborn is community means you come from a place that is or was devastated by war, right? Yeah, ravaged by war. So since I picked first on the one and then Jack picked first on Ancestry, we'll let you pick first, Brandy, on community.
I actually want Reborn because I read that found family once per session I can spend a hope to use an ally's community ability, which means I have access to everybody in the party's community ability, and I can use that. And when I do that, I spend my hope, but my ally gains a hope. So that's like a super win-win. And
Way to pass hope around.
yeah, and gain their ability at that moment. But you can also,
that's super cool.
At any point when I've discovered the community I was once a part of, or I've joined a new one, I can permanently trade Reborn for another one.
Nice.
So I can be like, I don't know, and then halfway through I can be like, I feel like I belong to whatever.
All right, Jack.
I was also thinking Reborn, but I'm not gonna. So, community. I'm gonna go with the Underborn.
Right, I'll read that one for you. Underborn. Being part of an underborn community means you are from a subterranean society.
I think that matches with the Fungrel.
Sure. Totally.
And how about your robot?
My robot. Hold on. Smiley the robot. Community.
Are you going for funny or what makes sense?
I mean, a little of both. Like, I don't want the obvious. I don't want to be a Warforged, like do the Warborn and just play an Eberron like we were doing. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of a done deal. I was trying to think of something a little bit more interesting.
Reborn was kind of cool because you also have the ability to, when you roll with fear, you can change it to a roll with hope once per session.
Yeah. Freeborn does that.
How about what is Hearthborn? Oh, humble origins.
That's like the Shire, right?
Highborn community, opulence and prestige.
I was actually thinking, because it's really like not what I'm good at. But it would give me an interesting like side. Like I have a -1 knowledge, right? But to have advantage on roles that involve history, culture, or politics of a prominent person or place, like that I'm a robot full of useless knowledge.
Right.
Like that would be super fun to play.
Somebody's input some kind of data.
Right. Right. There's this data I have that I don't understand why I have it, but I have it. Right.
Right.
I think that's fun.
Yeah.
Sure. Right. All right. I'm going to click the next button, which would be experiences. Right. So in Daggerheart, your experience is one of the core ways you express your character's backstory and expertise through mechanics. Experience is a word or phrase used to encapsulate a specific set of skills your character might have because of the exciting life they've lived. You start with 2 experiences of character creation, and you'll earn more throughout your adventures. Why does it say 3 for me? But it only shows 2. Weird.
Did you scroll? Thought maybe there was more at the bottom.
No.
A word or phrase used to encapsulate skills your character has acquired. Huh.
It's kind of like when we played last week. One of the ones I had was I'm not afraid. I ain't afraid of nothing.
Right.
And I've got your back. Those were the 2.
And you just use it to apply to whatever you think works.
Yeah, because you'd be like,
well, you have to justify it.
Right.
That this past experience gives you a bonus on the roll if you have the hope to spend to do that, right? So the mechanics is spend a hope, add +2 to your roll. But the storytelling part is I'm getting to add this +2 because in my past, yada, 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 right?
Yeah.
So I think that I'm going to put... helpful to a fault. I'm a robot that always wants to be helping.
Sounds good.
So you could enter it if you wanted to be clever. How are you going to say that? Like, let me help you, or
right? I'd come up with something. Something that I constantly am doing or trying to do, right? And then I think I would also since I am a juggernaut brawler, I think something needs to be what could I put?
Brawler. Let's see. Are you going to be punching or stabbing mostly, do you think?
I'm going to do destruction is my happy place. I envision this guy grabbing either bad guys or buildings or things and pulling them apart and using his physical prowess in that way. So
construction.
Yeah, destruction is my happy place. Those are my 2 experiences.
Nice. Those are good. And they're very vague, so you can apply them to a lot of stuff.
The goal is that you should be able to find ways to apply it, yes. Which of the 2 of you would like to go next?
Jack,
Let's
you go.
let Lysel. Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah, you should go.
All right. So we're looking at experiences. Being a fungus person, I think there's no male or female. I think I'm just a fungus. And I'm also working with you guys to cook things. So with that in mind, and I'm a poisoner, so I deal with spices and whatever. I'm going to go sweet and savory as one of them,
Nice.
I like that.
which could apply to my behavior, could apply to things I do.
Yeah, sure.
And the other one, I want to have it apply to many situations as well. I'm going to go with intoxicating as my second experience. It could be poisonous. It could be mind altering.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
Toxology.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
And last but not least, Lysella.
So, I am going to my first one, because she's a witch, and she's probably not the most. She probably looks a little nefarious. Her first experience is going to be, "You can trust me."
Oh.
All right.
And the other one is, I've done this 1,000 times.
Nice. Oh, those are both so good.
Thank you.
I love that. I love it. All right. So it looks like the last section is to do the create connections, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't answer the background questions either, right? So we could either go back and look at that as well, and then we could also do the connections with each other. Now, these are all generated from, right? In theory, you're also supposed to be able to come up with your own questions for these to answer, right? So you do not have to do these.
Let's try to just do one. You do one each.
I love these. When we played last week, I felt like it was the coolest kind of role-playing Mad Libs almost. It was neat.
I agree.
Yeah, the connections part for sure.
Yeah.
We never did the background questions though. Do we want to look at those, or do we want to do the connections?
Let's do one, at least one background each, and then go to connections.
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
All right, we're on you, Lysella. So there's 3 questions here for your background.
Okay, I'm looking. I have it open on mine too, so I can read it.
Hopefully, they're showing the same questions.
Yeah, it is the same.
Okay.
How did I first discover my affinity for magical craft? I was born into a family of witches. I never knew magic wasn't every day for everyone.
Cool.
I bleed magic.
Love it. All right. Let's go to Jack.
Okay.
Let's see what these are.
Background questions. Okay. What organization trained me? I'm going to skip that one. Okay. The second one is the one I'm going to answer. My owner has eluded me. The person, yeah, go ahead. My owner, comma, the person who stole me from my fungal hive as a cute baby and kept me as a pet. I have vowed to murder that adventuring person since day one.
And how have they managed to slip through your fingers?
Well, they're never at home. They're always off adventuring. I'm just in their castle as one of the many keepsakes they've saved. So I'm watching and learning how different chemicals mix together, including some of my own cap as I scrape it in, taste it,
I love that.
try it out on rats and whatnot. All right, Smiley.
What you got?
Let's see. Background.
How'd you learn to fight? Who's always had your back? And who do you want to rematch with?
That's cool.
Who's your grudge against?
Yeah, I definitely have a rematch against another Juggernaut Clank. And what would his name be? His name is Laughter.
Giggles.
We want to thank Rentonsa for following.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome. So yeah, Laughter, the Juggernaut Clank, that was my training rival, is who I am desperate to have a rematch against, because the last time we fought, he won the match and would not let me live it down. I can still hear his laughter to this day.
What's it sound like?
Very mechanical and maniacal.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
And we've got another follower. I'm
What?
not gonna make right. Eonite. Aeonite. I'm butchering that, but
Eonite.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for checking on that. I'm terrible when I'm in this mode.
that's why I'm the producer. Close enough. Thank you.
So
Appreciate it.
is there a Clank picture?
I thought I saw one. Oh, okay.
Right, so looking at, I guess I could have stayed with me.
Connections.
Connections, starting with those. So again, these are ones that are kind of pre-done for us. I'd be curious if you guys were up for it, for us to do one connection that's listed and then have us round robin a connection question for each other.
Well,
a
the
good one.
connections
Good way to
we
do it.
ask each other, though, don't we?
No, we define who in the connection we're connected to. But what I'm saying is, let me go to them. Hold on.
Because the way they're worded
Experiences.
sounds like
Yeah. You pick somebody and you ask them this question.
yeah.
It's how we did it last time.
we should say, hey, Smiley, ask my question.
Right.
So you answer the question about it.
No.
Yes.
Whoever you ask answers the question.
No, because this connection is on your character sheet.
Right. But like mine says, I'm going to just, ahead of time, I'm just going to say one of mine is, why do you come to me for advice? I mean, I guess you could work it that way, but I could also go, hey, Smiley, why do you come to me for advice?
Right.
You're still picking Smiley in that instance.
Like I chose, yeah, I'm choosing who I'm asking.
Right.
Smiley has to answer my question.
So, Smiley, since you're up, you ask one of us one of those things.
About
Right. So I'm going to go with what's your name? It's not on my screen, so I can't.
Lysella.
Lysella. What's the one thing we're both afraid of?
We are both sickeningly afraid of our bare feet touching wet grass.
Right. I have to wrap my head around why the robot is afraid of that.
Wet grass.
Yeah.
Wet.
Sure.
Let's see.
Sure. I think what it is I'd like to play it off as it's something you've always been afraid of, and I have sympathy fear now,
That makes sense.
because it's not something I would be programmed to be afraid of, but because you're afraid of it, I think I should be too. And this got proven by the fact that I found rust on the bottom of my feet one day.
Mm-hmm.
And it freaked me out that I thought, this is why.
Yeah. Perfect.
Love it. Love it. All right. So, who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Marcella.
All right. Character builder. Sorry, everybody, about the back and forth, but it's the easiest way to do all this and keep it streamed for everybody to see. Experiences. Character creation. Create connections. So these are the three that are
Right.
up here.
Jack, what's your character's name again?
Sweetness.
Sweetness. I once appeared to you in a dream and shared a vision of the future. What did I tell you?
It's interesting. You laid out everything in your future about wanting to create fabulous food. I was not at all interested in food until you laid it out for me in a dream.
Okay.
And that's how we found each other. Apparently, you can invade my dreams.
Ah. Shh, don't tell.
You recruited me for your cooking squad.
A cooking club.
Cooking club, yeah.
Nice. All right, and then I guess on to sweetness.
Yeah. Oh, these three are good. I'm going with the second one. You once asked me to do something that keeps you up at night. What was it? Smiley.
You once asked me to do something that keeps you up at night. What was it?
Was it to go walk on wet grass?
No. So I asked you something
Yeah.
that keeps me up at night.
Yeah. You don't know if maybe you don't know if I did it or not, but it's worrying.
I think I would have asked you, since I've watched you work with concoctions, if you could create something that might slow a clank like me down.
Okay. And why does it keep you up at night?
because of what I don't like what I intend to use it for.
Okay. Well, then I definitely made it.
So instead of using these others, or maybe inspired by these others, we could come up with others. I think would be interesting to play around with not leaning into the preconceived questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what do you guys think about that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yep, works for me.
All right. Anyone want to start one?
Well, since we're on me, let's come up with. All right, so it's got to be background related. It's got to connect. Since I've already done you, Smiley, I'll do Lysella. Um, who? No. Why did you introduce me to? Well, a why is a hard question.
Yeah.
Why did you introduce me to someone who taught me to make a love potion? Why did you introduce me to that person?
Okay.
No,
So,
why did you introduce me to someone who knows how to make a love potion?
okay. So they keep making that person kept making the same love potion, and it was not as effective as they thought it was. And I figured, since you have a fungi kind of background, that you could either assist or offer advice to that person, because it's kind of the thing you do. I was trying to subtly give them help without saying they needed help.
Okay, all right. So you, in that connection, you trust me to make whatever anybody needs to make.
Yes.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't
Okay,
like to tell
cool.
people that they're doing something wrong. I'm passive aggressive about that. So.
Who's next?
Okay. I have to think about this. Smiley.
Yes.
Wait, no, I did yours already, didn't I?
No. It's for Smiley.
Okay. Why do you follow me everywhere?
So Smiley follows you everywhere because Smiley wants to help. Smiley is programmed to be helpful. And Smiley is forever trying to assist his compatriots. It looks to you like I follow you more than I follow Sweetness, but it's probably about the same.
Okay.
Right. But it's so overbearing, and I'm actually pretty big, so I feel like I'm always in the way
Mm-hmm.
to you, that I'm always underfoot in that regard. But it's just because I'm driven to help.
Okay.
We have very little privacy, is what I'm
Right.
hearing.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you turn around and I'm just standing there.
It
With
can be
my
difficult in my line of work.
right. All right. So mine for Sweetness. How did we meet?
How or when?
How?
How? I feel like we would have met because I needed help with something. Like I was in trouble and you noticed. Let's go silly. I was walking across wet grass and you told me to get the hell off of it.
That's
Nice.
awesome. I
And
like
I
Nice.
and I was almost offended by that because I really, really like wet grass.
that.
But you sounded like there was something very wrong, so I hustled off, and that's how we met.
Nice. So, looking at character creation, it's really not that deep. I think the deepest part story-wise is some of these connections and how they play into the campaign frame and or campaign, however you're going to do it, right?
So
But
my 2 cents on that though is that it is deep, but in a very different way.
yes, I just mean that it's not a big mechanics
Right.
Question. Obviously, like I pulled open Lycia's to just like look at your character sheet for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you oh, it didn't populate everything.
What's
Why
missing?
did it didn't populate your evasion or your That's interesting.
My evasion is 10.
Is that what it should be?
I thought so.
And what about your thresholds?
Yeah, my thresholds did.
Maybe you are not equipped. You don't have your equipment on, maybe.
Could be.
Hold on. You have to activate your clothing. There we
Okay.
go.
Oh, okay.
Activate the dual staff. Okay. There your armor showed up, your minor damage and your severe damage. It just had to populate all that stuff once I equipped equipment on the
Gotcha.
character sheet. So but like looking at what your character can do here at first level, right? So you've got domain effects, you have 2 of those, right? They're both spells, which makes sense for the witch,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You've got your witch's unique hope feature, just spend 3. And it seems like every class has a hope feature that is spend 3 and 3 hope and this happens, right?
Right.
So I think that's a unique, very flavorful one for the witch. Then you've got your hex, which I love. And then downtime action that requires rolling. You can roll twice with herbal remedies. What's super cool about that role play wise and story wise is like if one of your downtime actions is to clear wounds, you're actually using herbs to heal your body.
Right.
Right? So that's really cool.
And I like that you can toggle the condition or whatever it is.
Right.
So like if
Right.
I do hex, I toggle it, right?
Yep. I've got a toggle on one of my things too.
Yeah. The only thing you have to remember is to click the one stress button,
Mm-hmm.
which you'll see up here marks a stress on the character sheet.
Right.
So, the way the character sheets work on Demiplane are really, really great, I think, for using them to play from.
Yeah.
Which is going to be great for playing this as an online game, for sure. I think that's great. Like the 3 hope button doesn't show up until I click and add a hope.
Mm-hmm.
So I added a 3rd hope for you here. and all of a sudden that 3 hope button works. If I click it, I just use those 3 hopes.
Right.
Bam. So that's
Yeah.
super cool.
This is a nice setup.
It is. It is. And I think, starting first level characters. I never looked at your ancestry, what it gave you. When you roll with hope, instead of gaining hope, you can spend a hope to clear a stress. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Divine wings, you can call forth your wings and fly. While flying, you can mark a stress. A witch that flies, that's awesome.
Yeah. And I love that while the wings are open or revealed, I would gain advantage on rolls to command or intimidate a target.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And then Reborn is super cool also. To spend a hope once per session to use an ally's community ability. I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting character build. I like it.
I do too. I really like the whole witch.
I think it's interesting how much we leaned into the playtest stuff.
Yep.
That wasn't necessarily my intent. I think there's something to be said about the excitement of new. Also, the fact that they may have sandbagged a little bit and put out some exciting stuff after the book came out to help people realize there's gonna be more.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really smart play from a gaming company just perspective.
I would have been happy to go with the more known classes. The only reason I didn't is just because you guys didn't, and I hadn't even looked at Assassin yet. So,
and that's really why I went with the brawler, because I hadn't looked at it. I assumed I thought it was going to be more fighter type and less monk type, but it definitely comes across as a monk. Although the Juggernaut versus the martial artist, I think, takes it to a barroom brawler more than than your martially trained.
I feel like
thing.
Witch is a really interesting sort of druidic sorcerer kind of squash up.
Yeah, and since it didn't exist
Yeah.
for you in D&D, it's just a kind of a new paradigm.
Yeah.
Right.
But playing a ranger, actually playing all the stuff that we saw in our playtest, they all had some super cool things.
Oh yeah.
I would have been happy playing any of those characters.
Absolutely. And I think that the strength of this game is going to be like the combinations you can come up with between your heritage, your community, your class, your even down to your which cards did you pull for your domain effects, right? Like,
right.
Sure.
I think there's just a great customization in here that is super exciting. I think putting together a character, though, after having done this tonight, I'm far more interested in like either really diving in and knowing the frame. Like, let's say we were doing Beast Feast. We were going to lock into everything about Beast Feast. I haven't read through all of Beast Feast yet. So I would want to know all of that before making some of these choices. So, and then if it was a long form campaign where we were building the campaign frame together as a table, I think so many things would be if this, then that, and if this, then that. And I think we would come up with some very interesting combinations and connections. Not just those kind of connections, but even like geographical connections and societal connections in the gaming world we're piecing together.
Yeah, I feel like this made a first level character more like richer. Like there's, I don't know, first level character, like when, and I'm not doing a compare, this is better than that. It's just, I think you get more, there's more depth in a first level character with this, in my very inexperienced opinion, but
Yeah, it seems really adaptable. Like
Right.
you can, if you come up with something you want to play, you can make it happen here.
mm-hmm.
Also, the things that you choose are open-ended enough that you can make them apply in more situations than you might have thought.
Agreed.
Right.
My favorite
Yeah.
thing is the experiences that you just,
Yeah.
there's a couple words. If you can make them fit, stuff can happen.
So I find it interesting mechanically, though. And I think that's one of the things I've been worried about mechanically about this game, right? Is the it's my turn. I want to use one of my experiences to give me a +2 to my roll, so I have to spend a hope. However, if it's one of your turns and I don't have to use an experience, I just have to narrate how I would help you, I get to give you a D6. Is hope better spent helping each other than helping yourself?
Yeah, it is definitely
Because on
better to help
average,
each other.
2.5, right? That's the average on a D6? Or no? 3.5. Right. So you're on average going to give more benefit to someone by helping their action than using your experience for yourself.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
However, there's going to be that roll that you're about to make that you want to give yourself the best chance at making.
Right.
So you're going to burn a hope on your experience.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully your friends are going to jump in too, right?
Yeah.
So just in terms of the tactics of the game, I wonder over the long term how using hope in those situations is going to feel. And are we going to be wanting to hold on to our hope to help each other because it is a more mechanical advantage? Or are we going to be leaning into those experiences saying, this is what my character would do? Because
I
that's
think
who they are.
it'll be a good combination. It depends on luck on how many hopes you actually have, right? Because if you
Right.
keep rolling fear, you don't have to
Correct.
worry about it. But a lot of people, like as soon as you get 3, you're going to use them to team up. Boom. And yeah, hope is going to be a big commodity.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting mechanic that does some interesting things. I almost wish the experiences could
Not cost the full hope somehow,
or
flavor your other actions.
yeah, I almost wish the experience mechanic was equal to helping others, but then I don't know if that's right or not either. Right? Like instead of getting a +2, I get to add a D6. I get to give myself advantage. Right?
Right.
I don't know. I'll see how I feel about that as we play more.
Yeah. It's almost like you would want to use your experience things as the help to another character.
Right.
Like when you use them, you're giving away that hope point.
Right. Yeah. It's curious to see how that will play out in terms of usage. Because in a playtest, you guys were using your hopes a lot on your experiences.
That's
For
true.
yourselves. And you were helping each other less than I expected. But that's also brand new, first time out the gate, everybody trying the system on.
Right.
Right? You know?
Mm-hmm. We hadn't had much experience with tag teaming, and of course we still don't, because I'm sure if you thought ahead, you could plan out some really impactful tag teams.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Is there anything else you guys wanted to kind of cover or look at or talk about?
I think this is a lot to
Well,
cover.
let's see how we could use these characters to tag team. What
Interesting.
what features do we look at to see how tag teams would be best? Is it in features, domains? I guess all of it.
Well, and like for me, my spending a 3 hope is just to change somebody's failure into a success.
If you've got the hope built up and we really need that role to succeed, yes, it's going to give the GM a fear, but it's going to succeed.
Right.
Right? So if the mission is steal the key from the giant and the rogue is about to steal the key from the giant and fails, you could make the rogue get the key.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Like, just as an example. However, we're going to it's going to be a success with fear. So the success happens, but a possible negative thing happens, and the GM could choose to take the spotlight
Right.
in that moment. So
But
I
you
love
have
that.
succeeded.
That's right. That's right. So if it was that big a deal to get, I think that's super cool, right?
Mhm.
You know?
Yep.
Um,
It'll cost you, but you're going to get what you want.
right.
That's an expensive one.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. My character can use 3 hopes to clear his own stress.
Now, but look at what things do you have that give you stress, right? Your ambush feature,
Mhm.
you mark a stress to force the target to make a reaction roll,
Yeah.
right? So you're going to want to be ambushing and marking stress because you'll eventually be able to clear it,
That's like me
right?
with Hex. I can hex creatures with 1 stress.
To make poison. To
Plus, also, one of your abilities as a fun grill is while touching a corpse that died recently, you can mark a stress to extract a memory.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another way you're marking stress. So having the ability to get rid of it is
Right.
super cool.
And also disguising costs the stress.
Right.
So I have 4 things that stress me out.
Right.
In addition to whatever the enemies, the adversaries do to me, they can
Well,
cause stresses too, right?
sure. That's depending on the type of adversary. Some can, some can't, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think there's some interesting possibilities.
Absolutely.
I have to say, though, I think that the witch is probably the most interesting class. In terms of abilities, I think they did in terms of the flavor of their abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
I think we're going to see a lot of people wanting to play a witch over time. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
Could have a full witch party.
that'd be badass, actually.
Yeah.
A coven.
Yep.
Yep. That'd be funny.
The coven.
And hell, you you build a whole campaign frame around it,
Yeah.
right?
I can see us all arguing all the time about everything, just like
That's right.
a bunch of sisters or brothers
Yeah.
and sisters.
Right.
That sounds like a fun Daggerheart one-shot. The Coven on
It
Halloween.
really
That's for
does.
Halloween.
Michael, if you're watching, Michael,
October 30th. That's a
is
Thursday.
that the date he picked?
No, I'm just saying that's a Thursday.
No, our buddy Michael has offered in our Discord to offer up and run a Daggerheart one shot at some point in the future. We haven't booked the date yet, but we're doing that just so you know, anybody who's watching or listening or watching this later on. If you join our Discord and whatnot, you can post ideas about one shots and ask for invitations. We put out the announcement tonight. We would have taken anyone in who wanted to come create characters with us. So we're just looking to build a community and gain other people that we game with and whatnot as well. So if you're interested in streaming, because that's the caveat. Some people like to stream and some do not. But if you're interested in streaming, our one shots are a great way to get involved with our channel, and you can even propose one shots you'd like to run as well. So we're just trying to kind of build up a community and do something each week that's a little bit different from our normal gaming structure. The past 2 weeks have been Daggerheart. We don't have one on the schedule yet for next week, so that'll be a topic of discussion probably starting tonight on our Discord. So, all right. Well, I'm good if you guys are good.
Yeah, this was fun.
It was fun, and I did learn quite a bit. I think that I definitely would want to know, hey, is this a one shot and we've got a quick and dirty framework we're going to run under, or is this a longer campaign that we need to spend a lot of time laying out what the parameters of the campaign are going to be, right? So
Yeah.
I suppose I could make this easier on you, Brandy.
Well, it's actually going to change all of my captures, but that's okay. So
Sorry.
that's okay.
There's Jack.
It's yeah.
Ah,
No, it's me.
I'm going to go make a witch character when we log off.
But
super cool. All right, we are Dicey Decisions. Check us out tomorrow night on our Twist of Fate campaign, playing through currently into Vecta Eva Ruins. We have played through most of, kind of mashed together the Planescape Turn of Fortune's Wheel and some Book of Many Things content with the Vecna Eva Ruin. And we are starting in hot and heavy in the Vecna story. So it's getting really exciting. Brandy's going to have a very busy, eventful session tomorrow as we are traveling back to her character's homeland.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's tomorrow night. So come check us out here on the Twitch. Like I said, hook up with us on our Discord. We're all over social media as well. And thanks for watching and listening. And I guess it's just me being streamed right now because Brandy's over it. So good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.